So as I have tea cooling down right beside me because I am dealing with a physical body condition, yes, it shouldn't be too serious, but as we see, all scars, all perks. Yeah, we'll do this Yumiko run. All perks Yumiko though, we'll see what happens. But let's just make sure we set this up, and for timestamp's sake, and this video's sake, I need to remember all stuff. So, one last Yumiko run if I didn't already do a third one, if I'm doing a fourth one. If I am doing a fourth one right now, Scars, right? Yeah, Scars. If I'm doing a fourth run right now, then, well, so be it. I've actually forgotten a little bit because, as I'll explain in a moment, as we get into all Scars, all perks, Yumiko. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. Getting closer to game dev stuff. Like I said, this upcoming thing, I'll talk about it more as we go through, but I'll also try to concentrate on this second mystery, charisma, knowledge, strength, light, second encounter, maybe? We do have strength and we do have a lucky bat, but we'll see if it's actually worth it. We do have scars, so we effectively have more HP to work with, but that'll depend on our mysteries, won't it? So fill the empty bottle up as always, grab extra experience, and away we go. But yeah, getting close to game dev stuff, the third game, really, the small one. I have to start small and try to make a project of some sort. That's commercial, metamorphosis, scissors, teacher, arms, and, well, this is terrible. What do I actually want to do first? I want to get botanist out of the way, but we have 3 boss mysteries in a row here. Just making sure I have the sensor bunny, by the way, because sensor bunny is gonna... You gotta remember to take that off if I'm not on a roll talking about something off the heat of the moment. But... Oh, I want to take scissors now. But should I take scissors now? I guess I can. So we're gonna find out. Also, we're on Azul, completely forgot, but... Let's see if Scars will save us anything. So the off-topic thing I'm going to say is I'm going to go for the Cursed Scissors, funny enough, is that, yeah, there's some, I've talked about FF14 in my rating experience before, or, like, as little rating experience as possible. I've always tried to mention the fact that I really want to look into raid fights when I was doing raid. I never liked raiding, but, again, not saying I like the people, I just hate raiding in general, but... when you're called upon, and I can at least follow orders. But you also want to look into an encounter. I think there are times when intuition does win out. But for the most part, I mean, in FF14, it's a different story. I don't know about other MMORPGs. We're just going to do a prep strong here. But in FF14, you know who has done something wrong. Unless multiple people do things wrong, but... You have your own role to play in raiding in FF14, so, and I don't mean just like your role, whether you're a tank, DPS, or healer. I mean, in a certain fight, you might get certain debuffs and whatnot, and anyone who's played FF14 knows this, but for those who don't, essentially each person in an 8-man or more, or less, depending on the instance you're in, but usually raids are 8-man in terms of when you're trying to grind for relevant gear. You may have a role in the fight, and you may have targeted things that you have to do. Sometimes it's with a partner, sometimes it's by your own, sometimes it's as a group of 4 or more. So what you have to do depends on the fight itself. That being said, can I do this, by the way? Hold on. I do have the wooden bat. Let me see here. I had a lot I wanted to say on MMORPGs because it's kind of relevant at the moment, but not gonna be able to go into everything because I also wanted to go over game dev stuff. So this is possibly 8 damage. We can take up to 2 hits. The question is, well, we're gonna get the scissors, so I can throw the lucky bat. Rip luck if anyone cares, but I don't. So this should be a one-shot. Yeah, and away I go. Barely 13 health. So, yeah, as I mentioned, each person has their role, and when someone messes up on a mechanic that, at least a lot of people do, even if you don't, the more intuitive of a human being you are, the better you are at seeing where things have gone wrong. And I've talked about how before raiding in FF14 is more of a scripted dance, and if I didn't, I'll say so now, with certain random parts here and there, like who gets what role, depending on what happens in the fight. Again, I have to speak kind of vaguely, because that's just how vague some fights can go. But when a mechanic goes out and someone's in the wrong, usually you see where it goes wrong, as opposed to other games or other instances in FF14 where you have a lot of people, but it can be less likely to see where things have gone wrong. We need to put the police patrols on the seaside, by the way, because we are in metamorphosis. I do also need a rest, maybe, but we'll find out if I really need to do that. So, and I do believe that for the most part, everyone should, in FF14, everyone should know what they're doing. Why is our luck still at 8? By the way, anywho. Everyone should know what they're doing, but at the same time, it helps out a lot when someone can identify a situation, whether it goes wrong, whether something unexpected happens, and try to correct things as they happen. Obviously, if you're going in for the first time, if you're going for world first race, something like that, there are different strategies to employ because you are trying to explore an unknown fight. But a lot of my experiences, obviously, on fights that were, well, also relevant, but obviously the mechanics are already known. But at the same time, that's not... What's the correct phrasing I want to use that would explain what I want to say? By the way, I think I should rest here. Yeah, we're gonna rest 3 times even. And we're gonna move on. We do have botanists, hopefully we don't get roads closed. I think the Scissor Lady was our second encounter, if I recall. Let me make sure I'm actually prepared here for a moment. Let's see if even the baseball is worth it. It actually is, because then I get to do this. Guaranteed, I think. So we're going to pop the baseball here. We could take 4 stamina damage, but that's what the rest were for. And there's a very specific threshold, as it turns out, I'm learning right now, for Yumiko to 2-shot the meat horror. Granted, you need the cursed scissors, but you get the point. Also, we're on an all-perk run, so that could be helpful now that we have the cursed scissors and we're not using the lucky bat, which means... Wait, do you not get Yumiko perks on an all-perk run? I'm pretty sure no, right? Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. Anyway, we're going to take strength for bracing, funny enough, but... will depend. There are certain thresholds in World of War in which you want to brace kick and then do usually take a risk in doing a double attack, but hey, okay, now I have to pay attention. I wasn't paying attention to Azal either, so let's make sure we store these items so we don't need the handcuffs for this, so we should be okay. We're just going to take the Doom hit there. Although we're going to take another Doom hit, I think, at the end of this by the boss, but we'll see what happens. And, funny enough, Yumiko can actually tank this in the face. Do I want her to tank this in the face? And like I said, this is what bracing would be for, but unfortunately, unless we hit an attack here, it's not worth it. So, instead what we're going to do is visit the monument to kind of make up for running away there. Worked out, because we have the funds to do so, but sometimes it's stamina, sometimes it's reason. We're not on some, yeah, we're on scars. I don't want to take the Doom, though, so... We do have first aid as well. Yeah. So, yeah, again... I think human being... And this should be, like, common logic, right? I don't want to say the better you are, but that's the best way I can say it. The better you are as a human being, the more... I think you'll see it pay off in FF14. Now, granted, the opposing power, the opposing force in that is that you have to depend on 7 other people, and you can usually depend on like at least a few people, I hope. But especially if you're doing a pickup group or pug, or you're playing with absolute random people, then it kind of matters more that you are more aware and intuitive. And if nothing else, the bottom line of it all is that it pays off to have an adaptive playstyle, basically, and being able to adapt to the playstyles of others around you, I think is an important trait to have, at least in FF14. But now, it's not saying you don't have your own identity, but if the more flexible you are, I think that helps more than, well, or it helps just as much. I'm not going to say that much. It's just under being able to execute, because that's not actually what I wanted to say, but something along the lines of hand-eye coordination, but that's not really what I want to say either, so... But I think adaptability is like top 3 of the most important things to have in FF14. We gotta put the sensor bunny up. As we get into game dev stuff, and boy. Again, hopefully I should be done soon. I don't know if... I need to be done by the end of the month, because we're gonna get wild, and we're gonna become pirates. Or I'm gonna become pirates, at least. I'm not gonna say we, because I don't know what you play. But I'm sure a lot of people watching this video are gonna be going wild with monsters, hunting. So, yeah. So that being said, as we take off Sensor Bunny, 63% Doom on our 4th mystery. We have to hope we're okay. We have lost our bath, so I'm a little scared. But we'll see what happens. So, let's see. Arms into Botanist. Either way, it's going to be bad. Also, I took Azal Doom, so I talked about remembering, and I didn't remember. So we took 4 Doom for no reason. If we trade off reason, it's fine. We didn't, though, so I'm in some pain. And now this bottle of water is just sitting here for an emergency heal. Funny enough, because we lost Bat, so overall a net negative as we take more stamina damage here. I actually have to visit the tree now. Might not be able to talk about game dev because I need to focus on survival now, but let's see what happens. So, one more thing. Just one more thing, and that's not... That was kind of selective, my own brain thinking, but... we can't two-shot this. We get our reason back. Do I want to? Yeah. Nothing bad should happen here. So we lose one reason overall. First aid is really powerful, by the way, in my opinion. At least on base game World of Horror. You heard me talk about that before, and the reason I say that is because base game World of Horror, I believe at least, I haven't run the numbers or been able to run the numbers. I believe you'd lose more reason than the other stats on average, assuming average RNG, like you're 50-50. But obviously, things can go either way. It's just that I feel you lose more reason. We can also tank this in the face as well, because we'll only lose one reason. Now, I should stop doing this, but my Doom is getting a bit high too, so I'm afraid of that as well. And basically, if I don't get to say much more on the issue, then yeah, I should be finishing my game soon. It's going to be about $1.99 or $2 USD. I'm thinking like a thing right now, but anywho. Hopefully we're not on Timeline B, otherwise I'll have to do some maneuvering, and we are on Timeline B. Even before the text popped up, you can kind of get... I've played World of War too much to kind of learn the delay, so... Yeah, I think we just take this in the face, though. I could brace. I don't get much out of it, though, so we might as well go for it. Wow! I missed 80... Well, there's like a 64% chance of hitting both of those, but still. That kind of messes me up a little bit. If I go for a kick, do I get anything else? No. Not really. Is that real? No, because it's... That just does 22 damage. I don't want to throw the cursed scissors though, so we are gonna do this. So I think I can do this. Please tell me I can do. Okay, I can. So, oh my goodness, my brace. So we're going to heal 1 stamina for 2 reason, and we have to hit this kick. Okay, good. And I think this should be 22 HP minimum, or 21 HP minimum, but I think it's 22. Yeah, 21. Never mind. I'm going crazy. Anywho, I kept the handcuff on me, didn't I? So I just took a bunch of Doom. Also, why did I just lose a lot of Doom? Was it the experience rule? Do we have the experience rule? There's nothing I could do about it if I did. Yeah, we did, so that's unfortunate. I didn't need to be at 81%. I could have been at 76%, but forgot about the handcuffs, so... Pain. We'll see what happens. The run's not over yet. Should have healed stamina there, because I know I don't have Bath, but maybe we get really, really lucky. Maybe, even. But... with this much, funny enough, again, this is a survivable run. It's just, oh, I have to visit the tree again. Hope I don't get punished for that. I forgot. We lose Doom there, but we need to visit the tree. Also, should grab the painkillers. Might as well do everything I can to not die. So we're gonna immediately do this. I think if we have Toxi-san, we should just store the handcuffs. But if I die because of Doom here, I really shouldn't. But anywho, we'll find out. We just need to roll with it. So we do get out in 2. We can't run. Our Doom is too high for that. So yeah. Let's see what happens. And again, on a second note, right after talking about game dev stuff, don't spend money if you think it's not worth it. Basically, it's gonna be a very small. It shouldn't take you. Or I planned for it to be at least an hour. I guess that's the thing to do. Oh my goodness. I took Doom right as I entered the forest. I would have been able to monument otherwise. Oh, now we're dead. If we had saved as much Doom as possible, I think we're still dead here because... So let's assume we could have saved 10% Doom. We'd be on 90% Doom. Maybe we could have lived, but it's not really likely. The other turning point was probably not grabbing the cursed scissors because that does proc Doom. But using the lucky bat without swing and hit is a recipe for disaster on Yumiko, and she doesn't exactly start with high strength, which if I didn't already put her at the bottom of the bottom three, if we're talking about base characters, I know we've talked about Hayano, the kind of custom character, but Yumiko's down there, at least in my opinion. So I guess I'll see you in the next character, which will be